Welcome to One Brothas Mind, and I am KD Smooth. Today we will question and challenge popular information and views from a B1 perspective, while we expose the real facts you need. We do this to strengthen your logical, critical, and discerning thinking skills. Because in today's world, hard choices are mandatory and they come with consequences. So you need all the information. And at One Brothas Mind, we do this from a B1 Yeshua the Christ followers perspective. Now, if you're not ready, you better get ready with KD Smooth at One Brothas Mind. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's KD Smooth coming back at you with a new report. I pray you all are doing well. Shalom, family. With today's report, family, I'm coming at you with really, in all honesty, a broken heart. Y'all seen the thumbnail with what has transpired with our brother Tyre Nichols out of Memphis. We're going to chop it up a little bit on this situation, family. I normally don't do reports on individual occurrences, but I decided to go ahead and do this report this evening. Not just because I have a heavy heart, but I do have at least one question that I feel needs to be asked. We'll get to that in a moment. Before we do, family, if you appreciate our content here at One Brothas Mind, please hit the like button. Share this report on all your social media with all your peoples. And be sure to be subscribed to One Brothas Mind, where we try to bring you the information and facts you need. To begin, family, I first want to offer my condolences to the Nichols family and friends. I can't imagine what you are going through at this time. I can only pray for the strength, peace, love of Yah to be wrapped around you all at this time and going forward. Can't even imagine. To our brother Tyre Nichols, also, rest in heaven, my brother. Also, to those that are planning. Well, before we do that, let's just have a brief moment of silence for our brother Tyre Nichols. Okay. To continue, to those of you, especially those of you in the so-called black community that are planning on raising your voice in protests of what has occurred and what most of us have seen in the newly released videos, I say this: what's most likely about to happen in these streets out here, I say this: please know, family, the streets are not for rookies. The streets are not for rookies. They're not for those that are just, feeling some kind of way right now and have decided to go out and express their right to protest. If you're not really about that life, if you're a rookie and or you're not really about that street life and what's about to happen, most likely, do not, I repeat, please do not go out in these streets. The street protests game is a completely different animal. Okay? It's not what you're thinking. If you're a rookie, if you're new to this, you're not about that life, you're not experienced with how things really occur out in these streets during protests, stay off the streets. Stay off the streets. For those of us that know, especially during what's most likely about to happen with protesting, the protest streets have no rules. Every rule, every law you think applies or is in place, they are not in effect. Them peoples, they out to do whatever the hell they feel like doing, justified or not. In addition, you have ops out in these streets. There's not just only people and groups out there protesting what has occurred, but you have people that support and condone what has occurred to our brother out here in these streets, because they look at these protest opportunities as an opportunity for them to do more of the same. So again, if you're a rookie, these streets ain't for you, these protest streets. Nor if you're not about that life. For real. Because literally, being out in these protest streets, you're putting everything at risk. You could end up getting arrested, getting beaten, or worse. And notice I did not say by who, because there are many different people and many different groups, including the popo, that's out there that you have to contend with. It could be somebody standing right behind you, and if your head is not on a swivel, you would not know. Okay? So I just wanted to give that little update or recommendation before we get into it here today. I want all of you to be safe. Okay? All right. Now, family, I want to show you, most of you, if you're watching this video, you've probably already seen the video released by the Memphis Police Department, or you've seen as much of it as you can stand. I couldn't even watch a full minute of it. Just couldn't. So, with that being said, I want to show you, family, what that video you watched, or however much of it you watched. I want to show you what you actually watched happen. And it is this on your screen. That's what you watched happen. What's on your screen right now. Pay very close attention to the black man to the right of your screen and what is in his hands. So you're going to have a whole lot of our white brothers and sisters out here talking about, well, this wasn't racism or racist or white supremacy in effect because these were black cops. They're going to be trying to push that narrative. Family, most of y'all already know. That's some BS. This was white supremacy and racism in full effect, at its apex of operation. Because you have a lot of black officers, black cops that are doing this stuff out here every day. It's not all of them. It's many of them. For whatever reason, they say they out here doing this stuff. Doing the man's job. Doing his work for him. Okay? As famous Chuck D once said, every brother ain't a brother out here in these streets, y'all. Or many others say, all, what's the saying? All skin folk ain't kin folk. Something like that. Yeah. So clearly, family, what's on your screen, as I've stated once before, is what you watched on that video. You watched black men erase and delete another black man, innocent of the punishment of being deleted at the very least. But you watched them display the same hatred, the same disdain, the same inhumanity, the same vileness, the same satanic spirit of this white supremacist system against one of their own. A man that could be their brother, their cousin, their nephew, their uncle, what have you. I'm having to hold my words, family, because there's a whole lot more that I want to say that will definitely get this report canceled and removed out here in these YouTube streets. So y'all gonna have to bear with me. Wow. And what's crazy is these are the officers, the 5 that you saw in that video. Their names: Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Emmett Martin III, Desmond Mills Jr., and Justin Smith. Family. Wow. My question is, or one question I have for these brothers is, how long have y'all been gone? Because they didn't just wake up the morning that this occurred and say or decide, this is what I'm going to do. They've been gone a long time. They've been doing this type of stuff for a long time to black residents, black and brown residents in the Memphis community. And as we speak, I've heard recent reports that further investigations have begun beyond just these 5 officers, because this is not a one-off situation where they just flipped out and there's no other problems, nothing else going on in this Memphis police department. No. This is the culture of the Memphis Police Department, from the top to the bottom. Now, there may be a few good officers that are not a part of this culture, but all of them are pretty much literally scared and terrified for their lives. Because as officers, if they cross and report and expose the culture in officers like these, the same thing may end up happening to them, with them being deleted. When you have a culture like this. Okay? But if there's any remaining good officers there, you can count them on one hand. I guarantee you that. Now, here at One Brothas Mind, Katie Smooth, I am no friend of the popo. I don't care who it is. Now, with that said, is it a job that has to be done? Yes. Is it an easy job? Is it a somewhat dangerous job at times? Yes. It is not the most dangerous job, not even close to being. Okay? So stop it with that. But it is a job that is sometimes dangerous. In addition to that, I, like many of you, I have family members that are in law enforcement, that are officers, black officers. I got cousins, first cousins, and so on, that are officers. And to my knowledge, they don't get down like this, to my knowledge. And for any of my friends and cousins and family members that are officers like this, if you get down like this, stay far away from me. I'm going to say that right off the top. Stay far, far away from me. Okay? Because literally, one of these officers that's on your screen could be a relative of mine. I mean, that's how I see these black men that's on your screen. You know, when I see their pictures, I see the faces of several of my friends, several of my relatives that are officers. And I'm like, how could you? That's the thing that keeps running through my mind is, how could you? Okay? So, be clear. For our brother, Mr. Tyre Nichols, he was somebody's father. He was somebody's brother. He was somebody's son, someone's uncle, someone's nephew, and someone's friend. And potentially going forward, I haven't seen any reports, he may have become someone's husband. These 5 officers just erased all of that from being in existence. How could y'all? And again, family, I'm not just expressing these feelings just for Mr. Nichols. This goes for everyone that ends up getting erased and deleted by these satanic officers out here in these streets. So don't get it twisted. I just normally don't do reports on them because, one, for me, they're very difficult to do because there's some things that I want to say about some things that I would be doing that I can't say out here in these YouTube streets. Okay? So that's why I normally don't do these reports, but I decided to go ahead with this one, family. So, from all of what Mr. Tyre Nichols was to this, take a good look at what's on your screen, family. This could be your brother, your uncle, your son, your cousin, your friend, your nephew. If you don't see him as that, There's no help for you. I got nothing to say. There ain't no help for you, especially if you are a so-called black person here in America. If that's not what you're seeing on your screen, your own father, brother, nephew, uncle, cousin, friend, husband, if you don't see that, wow. All this, according to reports, for suspected of reckless driving. That's what they said they were pulling them over for. So-called reckless driving. Now be clear, family. According to reports, these 5 officers were a part of a special task force. They were a special team of officers. I forget the name of, I think it's like Scorpion, something stupid. But they were specifically assigned and tasked to go out and get people suspected of certain types of crimes. So, in addition to just being officers, they were encouraged by that department and their superiors to go out and get people. And they had the full support for everything that they were doing. Don't miss that, family. Because all their little superiors and the PR people coming on from the department talking about, we don't condone it. It's a lie. It's all a lie. They don't condone getting caught, which is what has happened. That's the only thing they don't condone. Because if there was no video, they would do their internal investigation. Y'all already know how it go. And they would come back. There was no foul play found. Case dismissed. File closed. Move on. Go find somebody else to delete, y'all. Good job. That's what would be happening right now. And this family, the Nichols family, would still be out here. They would be out here pretty much by themselves, protesting and seeking justice. So, the question that I have, family, about this issue and this type of issue, and of course, y'all know it keeps happening over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. At some point, when self-defense starts, then what? That's the question that I'm asking today. At some point, when human beings start to defend their lives and the lives of their children from the police, then what? It's my opinion here at One Brothas Mind that this self-defense, while it may not be tomorrow, it may not start tomorrow, but it's coming, in my opinion. Should it be that way? Should it have to happen? No, absolutely not. But it's coming. It's coming, y'all. Too many police keep putting black people or black and brown people in positions in these situations. They keep putting us in position to fear for our lives. Yeah, where have you heard that before? Oh yeah, from the police, right? And the police, when they are in fear of their lives, according to what they say, they get to use any and all force necessary to defend their lives, right? Exactly. Same thing with majority of our white brothers and sisters out here. If they feel in any kind of way that they're under some sort of threat, they use any and all kinds of force to defend their lives. I mean, y'all know a lot of states got the what you call stand your ground laws and rules in effect. But here's the problem. It's extremely rare when the lives of the police or the lives of most of our white brothers and sisters out here are actually under threat. That's extremely rare. It happens. Oh yes, it happens. But it's extremely rare. Why? Because of the way they have set up this white supremacist society, this satanic society. Our so-called white brothers and sisters and police and authorities and whatever you want to call it, everybody else knows they are the protected class. You do anything or attempt to do anything or threaten them, they have all license to erase you immediately and drive home right after. Not even be arrested and brought in for questioning, nothing. Just, okay, all right, nothing to see here. Everybody go home. This whole society, everyone in it knows that. So that's why legitimate occasions where the police or many of our so-called white brothers and sisters, especially those, of a certain so-called status or wealth in this country, it's extremely rare. Now, mind you, the police in this category of our white brothers and sisters, they the first ones running around with their power tools. They're the first one running around terrified, scared of everything and everybody. Why is that? I recently asked people on social media, I was like, what is it that has happened to so-called Europeans or white Europeans in the last 500,000, 1,500 years? What is it exactly that has happened to y'all that makes y'all so afraid of everybody else? Or in particular, that makes y'all so afraid of black people? What has black people done to y'all en masse? Not individually, en masse, that makes y'all so terrified and afraid of black people? Has so-called black people enslaved y'all? Nope. Has so-called black people terrorized y'all? Nope. Has so-called black people lynched, hung, raped en masse. And so-called black people done those things to y'all en masse? Nope. So what is it? Yeah, I got no answers on social media either. In fact, the biggest terrorizer of so-called our white brothers and sisters or other white brothers and sisters, they terrorize themselves for the most part. That's what's going on over there in Ukraine right now. With whichever side you feel you own, that's what's happening over in Ukraine right now. And you seen that jump off over there, and what's the first thing most of the rest of the so-called white people around the world did with NATO? They went and got in it. they couldn't wait, man. So yeah, anyway. So again, the question I'm asking is, when human beings begin to defend themselves, when that starts, when human beings begin to defend themselves from, say, in this case, the police, then what? Because most of us, y'all all know how it go, especially my so-called black listeners. Y'all know how it go. As soon as the police pull you over, you know how it's gonna go. They tell you within their first couple of words out of their mouth, they tell you how this is gonna go. If it's a regular routine traffic stop or whatever, they approach and speak in a de-escalating voice and tone. License and registration, man. You know why I pulled you over? No. I pulled you over because of this. So sit tight. I'm going to run your information. I'll be right back. Okay. But when they come at you completely different, when they approach the back of your vehicle and they already got the power tool pulled out, either at their leg or literally pointing at your window and at you before they ever even ask anything, it's already started off being real different. And your life is in danger. And the lives of whoever else, oftentimes our children that are in the car with us, our lives, all of us are in danger. So they even got to open their mouth to start the whole thing off differently. Right? To give the driver or passengers and the driver the sense of their life is in danger. They ain't even got to open their mouth. They do it all the time, many of them. Or say they didn't pull power tool yet. They come up, a lot of them, for whatever reason, be on some type of power trip or some anger trip. They come up and want to try to start screaming and hollering at grown people that are not your damn kids. Like that's a part of their job. That's what they supposed to be doing. And that's how they start. Oftentimes. They come with that. They bring that energy. And as soon as they bring that energy, screaming and hollering at somebody, outside your car, barking at you, what the hell you think you talking to? Now we got a problem. But they do it all the time. Because they get away with it all the time. Right? So now they come up escalating what should be a routine traffic stop that should be de-escalated to maintain everybody's safety, theirs and the person that they're stopping. Starts to go all the way left very quickly. And then, even beyond that, oftentimes you have officers, they've already made up in their mind before they pull you over, they're going to get you. They got you. Right? And they come up with the BS stuff talking about, after they get your license, registration, talking about, I smell something. I smell marijuana. Or your eyes look a little glossy. Have you been drinking? Or, you know how they do. And you may be a person that's never had a drink in your life. Never touched marijuana in your life. But that's how they roll up on you. So when they say that stuff, that's literally them telling you, I'm here. Let me say it like this. That's Satan standing outside of your car, smiling and grinning and laughing at you, saying, ha, I caught up with you. Now I am here to do what I want to you, all the way up to erasing or deleting your life right now. And those satanic cops and the passenger, the person they put over, know exactly. They know they making that stuff up when they do it that way. They don't care. They've gotten away with it many, many, many times before. It's a joke to them. But again, to my question, at some point when self-defense, when human beings switch to self-defense mode, when white supremacist race soldiers, or as you clearly seen and should see, so-called black officers who are executing and doing white supremacist work for the masters, when they come out with the same game, what happens? What's going to happen when human beings, especially a lot of black, so-called black or brown human beings, when human beings start to click on self-defense mode, and Officer Charlie, who coming up to people's car windows, screaming and hollering at them, terrorizing them over what's supposed to be simple traffic stops and citations, what have you. Or they just pulling people over just because. Don't matter. Making up stuff, knowing that they're lying. Literally. They do it all the time. What happens when human beings turn on the self-defense switch? Yeah. There may be some situation that's captured on video or on body camera where just in that instance, that moment, when Officer Charlie has terrorized and made someone completely afraid for their lives, there may be some recording come around soon where Officer Charlie ends up, how should I say this? Not having much of a face left to look in the mirror at. Let's say that. Because it only takes a moment. A split moment. My point is, to the police and this white supremacist system, you're not gonna keep going around day after day, terrorizing, erasing, and deleting people, and there is no response at some point. Should there be? No. But the only way you prevent human beings from moving to self-defense mode or stand your ground mode is y'all better stop this stuff now. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's gonna be a video if it ain't already happened. There's gonna be videos popping up where you roll up on somebody the way they do, like they, you know. And in this case, what if Mr. Nichols, you know, this is in Memphis. I'm not sure if Memphis is a open carry or whatever you want to call it state. But if it was, what would this have gone different if Mr. Nichols had his power tools and was that scared and terrified of what could happen or what was about to happen? Yeah. And when a human being is legitimately terrified for their life, scared, afraid for their life, there's only two things that kick in: fight or flight. That's it. Fight or flight. So my point is, it is not a winning recipe to the police out here to keep putting people all day, every day in a position to where they are afraid for their lives. Again, one more time. To Doris Bean, Demetrius Haley, Emmett Martin III, Desmond Mills Jr., and Justin Smith. At some point early on, any one of them could have said, hold up, y'all. That's enough. That's enough. All right, we got it. Chill. None of them. How could you? I'm purposely not finishing my sentences, family, because Let's move on. This is all that you saw on your screen. This is an example of how powerful white supremacy and racism really is. Now, a lot of so-called black officers join the force. They go, well, I believe that it's best you're gonna try to fix the system and make it better. You fix it from it within. Is this the fixing y'all talking about? Because as far as I can see, there's only two options for black officers in America. You either doing this kind of fixing, or if this is the route that you want to go, but you remain an officer, you over there sitting in a corner somewhere, keeping your mouth shut because you're afraid that you'll be the one strung up. Those are the only two options. Not making nothing any better. And that goes for, the head of the police department, the chiefs, all of them. There's a lot of them that are our brothers. But they're not really doing anything to make those departments any better, to stop the culture that's going on. In fact, many of them get ran off by the officers. But this is what you've seen on your screen. I'm not gonna show the video or nothing like that. One, I know they'll take the videos down out here in these YouTube streets, and two, even if they wouldn't, I still wouldn't show it because I couldn't watch anymore. Any more than a few seconds. So, real quick, let's look at what the so-called police, what they're trained to do, but yet are versus them being trained to attack. On the right of your screen is the so-called move that they've tried to illustrate with using your knee to hold a suspect down or, keep them stable. And on your right, as y'all know, this is what most of the cops are doing. Putting their knee on Mr. Floyd's neck or head. Yeah. And this fool still in jail, screaming and crying for appeal. Ooh, I want to say some stuff so bad. In my opinion, One Brothas Mind, he don't deserve to be in jail. Let him go. Let him go. Let him just announce what street he gonna be released on. That's all. Let him go. Let him go. All of them. Let him go. Let him go. Let him be free. Just say they gonna just drop him off on MLK. Yeah. Anyway, but and trust me, the way they did George Floyd, that's the way they really was trained to do it. They weren't trained to do this little instructional video process over here on the right, because they're trained to attack, not trained to subdue and arrest. They're trained to attack, force submission, and then scoop you up off the street if you still breathing. Okay? That's what they're trained to do. All right? Let's look at a little bit more of their training. If you watched the video, you saw how it went down. Were they in fear for their lives? No. But they were trained to attack. Okay? They're literally trained to attack, like attack dogs. Now they put out these little BS training videos, whatever, like they so-called are training them how to fight, how to properly defend themselves and apprehend a suspect. Yeah, right. On the left is how they're really trained and what they really do on a regular basis. But according to them, doing this on the right, that's how you arrest somebody. I don't see this person in handcuffs or any way. That's not even a part of what's happening on the image on the right. Okay. Again, attack, forced submission, then scrape you up off the street if you still breathing. That's how they're trained and what they do. Let's look at some more. Y'all see all these images. They're so, in fact, many of y'all have experienced some of these things. But starting with the top left corner, the tactic when 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them all jump on top of a suspect. They're putting their full body weight on a person. You can't do that without literally preventing the person or causing the person to stop breathing, because there's so much weight and pressure on top of their bodies. And the only thing a human being can do is, with what little breath and voice they have, is to say, I can't breathe. They don't care. And most of y'all seen report video after video after video of people saying that. And then when they finally decide sometime later to start getting up off of all this weight off of this person, off of this human being, then they start kicking and pushing the human being, talking about get up. Ain't nothing wrong with you. And they're already gone. Same thing here on the top right corner. They came out with the so-called tasers. That's forced compliance. They will admit to it. But what they don't tell you is, in most cases, they're tasing the person over and over and over and over again. And when you have electricity being put into your body, most people cannot lay prone and still and not move or whatever. It's humanly impossible. But the whole time, while it's 5 or 6 of them on top of you, or they're tasing you over and over and over again, or here on the bottom left corner, that's an officer about to knee into the person's back or head or neck or whatever. Or they're spraying pepper spray into your face and eyes. Or literally running up football, kicking your head over here to the right corner. All of these tactics they're trained to do. And the entire time while they're doing them, they're screaming, y'all know it. Stop resisting, stop resisting, stop resisting. It's impossible. You are being beaten. You are being attacked. They are inflicting extreme pain. In all of these instances, with all of these forms of attacking people. But at the same time, they keep saying stop resisting because you're moving, you're balling up or rolling around, rivaling in pain, or oftentimes doing everything you can to get away from who's hurting you so the hurt can stop. That's the human thing to do. Now, yeah, are there some people that, whether rightfully or not, when they go to try to arrest people, are there some people who, refuse to put their hands behind their back and y'all know the deal. They get stiff. Yeah. Happens all the time. But here's the question. Why are they getting stiff or not putting their hands behind their back or so-called resisting arrest? Why? A large portion of the times they're doing it because they've not committed a crime. The satanic white supremacist race soldiers is just out here making up stuff. So they're like, no, you're not going to arrest me. I haven't done anything. I have not committed a crime. You're just making up stuff. You're just lying. So because you're lying, I have a right to resist. I have a right to stop you from trying to arrest me. Hell no. If it happened to you, isn't that exactly how you feel? And then they start doing all this stuff. So just because someone is so-called resisting arrest or even running away, that doesn't mean they've committed a crime. In many cases, they've recognized what the satanic white supremacist race soldiers, black or white ones, they've realized what's happening or what's about to go down. And like, oh, hell no, I'm out of here. Oh, no. That's a natural human response, fight or flight. So you have to begin to ask yourself, if you haven't already, what are they really trained to do? I thought they were just supposed to be arresting people, but they're doing all of this stuff and more. They're not out to arrest people. They're specifically trained to hurt people. That's what they're trained to do. Or, for those that would argue, no, they ain't trained to do all this. It's the training, it's the other way that doesn't. Yeah, whatever. For those that would argue that, many of the officers want to hurt people. That's part of the reason, if not the only reason, why they became police. They got a free license to beat people down. They couldn't wait to become police. Many of them are control freaks and many other things. That's why they became police. Right? Now they're in a gang and they get to roll around with their gang beating people down. That's what they're out doing. And it's fun. They enjoy it. And they can just make up whatever lie story they want to make. The courts and the mainstream medias, they're going to believe and take whatever the lying officers are going to say. Like I said, if there was no video of what happened to our brother, Tyre Nichols, what do you think would have been in those police reports? What do you think those officers would have wrote down? That they did everything that they did? No! They're gonna lie. Somehow he fell off some 1,000-foot bridge and ended up with this damage. And it was his fault. We didn't do nothing to him. Man. So you have to understand, family, not only what you are actually dealing with, what they're trained to do. Another point is you got to understand, most police officers, most of them can't fight. just keep it 100. Most of them, they can't fight. They never could fight. They don't know how to fight. Which again, that's why they join the police force, because they want to fight. They want to be able to beat people up, but they would never do this stuff or try this stuff by themselves. One-on-one with somebody. They want to have a gang. They want to have the law behind them and all the other authorities behind them saying, yeah, do whatever you want. Okay, yeah, let's go get somebody. Because they never could fight. So they grew up basically being punked or punked on their whole life. And this was an opportunity for them to get some payback, basically. Because most people who are actually trained in some art of physical combat, myself, as a youngster, I actually wrestled, in high school for, 4 years. Other people are trained in some form of martial arts or what have you. People that are trained in some physical combat, we know many ways to take down or subdue a person without doing any of what you see on your screen. There's certain grabs, there's certain pulls, there's certain ways to use your body weight, the body weight of the person that you are contending with. There's certain, like I said, grasps where you could just literally grab most people by at the right place at a press point on their hand, and they will submit and bow down, lay down, do whatever you want. Many of us know you literally can take someone's wrist with their wrists behind their back, and as long as their arm is just pointing straight across their back, not too big a problem. But if you actually lift up or push up on their wrist in that position, maybe about a half inch to an inch, they instantly are going to start experiencing extreme pain, because it feels like your arm and your socket is about to pull out and snap apart because of that upward pressure. I mean, there's a whole, I can't even tell you how many ways and methods there are to take someone down to the ground or use a pressure point or something to put them in a position or hold or a grab that they will submit from without deleting them, without erasing them, and in most cases without actually causing any severe harm to them at all. So that's training. That's knowing how to fight or subdue someone. What's this stuff? What do you call this stuff on the screen? This is not, these are not trained professional tactics, at least not safe ones. This is just them beating the hell out of people. They're trained to beat the hell out of people, or they just want to beat the hell out of people. Take your pick. I mean, how much training do they actually go through? 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 18 weeks, whatever it is. Now remember, you're dealing with someone that doesn't know how to fight or subdue a person and never has known how to fight or subdue a person. But they get a certain number, a few weeks of so-called training, and then they're given a power tool and released onto the public. And that's what we call policing. And you wonder why these things are happening and keep happening. I mean, if they had any inkling to do things the right way, police officers would be trained in the art of self-defense and subduing a person for at least a year and a half, 2-3 years before they're released out onto the public. They would have to demonstrate a certain number of ways of taking someone down without harming them. You know, in kind of a live setting with someone, not another officer or a trainer. No, just a random person that volunteers to say, I'm gonna fight you, subdue me and arrest me without hurting me. And they will have to demonstrate they have the ability 1-on-1 to do that. 2-on-1, 3-on-1, whatever the case may be. I guarantee you, if they were just subduing and arresting people, you would see none of the stuff that's on your screen and the things, the methods that I showed before and what you saw in that video that was released. You would see none of that stuff if they were actually trained. But they're not. They're doing exactly what they're trained to do, and that's beat the hell out of people and then scrape you up off the ground. They've always done that. This ain't nothing new. Why? Because this is what, at the top left of your screen, this is how, like I said, most police officers, this is how they grew up. They were punked most of their lives growing up. Or they were raised to hate people that ain't them, that don't look like them. They were raised to believe that they're superior and everyone else is nothing but animals and beneath them. And as for many so-called black cops, thinking they gonna get in the side of the system to make change from the inside, they end up in this position, showing out for the slave master so they can keep their job and the slave master can feel good about them. This is pretty much what it is. I mean, again, there are some good officers. It's not 100%, but the few good officers that are out there, you never see or hear from them. They over sitting in the corner somewhere being real quiet. Because they know what happens to officers who blow the whistle and expose the rest of these satanic devils. Yeah. So again, I asked the question, when that video comes out, what then? You know, the video where Officer Charlie ran up on somebody's car or ran up on somebody and then somehow ended up with most of Officer Charlie's face being real different, made to be real different. And then this time, family, we're going to have a word from our unofficial sponsor here at One Brothas Mind. And after this word, we will come back and continue.
A word from the official sponsor of Black Empowerment, Power Tools. There's no telling when something's going to come up, so make sure you carry your power tools at all times. You never know when you're going to need to bring the hammer down, or when you'll have some trash that needs to be blown away, or some obstacle that requires cutting down. Don't get caught empty-handed. Keep your hammer close by. Keep that leaf blower at the ready. And always carry your steel. Power Tools. Because no matter what your day job or side hustle may be, there's no excuse for not being ready to put in some work.
Okay, family. Again, I don't want to see Mr. Charlie's face become forcefully different. That shouldn't happen. But guess what else shouldn't happen? Well, I guess it's pretty obvious, right? Yeah. Trained to attack. Once again, my condolences to the Nichols family and friends. Y'all help us and help them. One more additional note, family, with what day and time they chose to release this video. Don't miss that they chose to release this video at the start or beginning of the Sabbath day. For those of you who actually know, don't sleep on that. There's a reason or reasons why they chose to release the video literally at the beginning of the Sabbath day, the real Sabbath day. You know, the one that's supposed to be kept holy. Yeah. Don't never sleep on that. Hasatan is always busy. Always. So, family, again, it is with a broken heart that I do this report. And y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. And I say this also again. These protest streets are not for rookies, y'all. If you a rookie, don't be out here in these protest streets. If you ain't about that life, ready to risk it all, don't be out here in these protest streets. Because there are no rules out here in these protest streets. And once again, family, if you appreciate our content here at One Brothas Mind, please hit the like button. Share this report on all your social media and be sure that you're subscribed to One Brothas Mind, where we bring you the information and facts you need. And this concludes this broadcast for One Brothas Mind. We thank you for joining us. And as a part of the new Black media, B1 choices are mandatory. and being on code is required. But never fear, Yeshua the Christ is with you always. Shalom.